You ever finish up in the bathroom, think you're all done, and then just a few minutes later, that feeling's back? That familiar, nagging urge to go again? It's super frustrating. And today, we're gonna get to the bottom of why it happens and, more importantly, what you can do about it. So let's just ask it straight up. What is going on here? Why do you still feel like you have to pee right after you've already gone? Maybe you've even noticed a little bit of dripping afterward. Well, there's a name for this. It's called incomplete bladder emptying, and we're about to unpack exactly what that means. So here's what we're covering. First, we'll look at how your bladder is supposed to work. Then, we'll dig into the two main reasons it might not be. After that, we'll talk about why this is a bigger deal than you might think. Then we get to the good stuff, your bladder emptying toolkit. And we'll wrap up with the really important part, when it's time to call a doctor. Okay, so before we can figure out what's going wrong, we've got to know how things are supposed to work in the first place, right? So let's do a quick dive into the basics of urination. It's actually a pretty cool two-step dance, and both steps have to happen at the exact same time. First, your bladder, which is really just a muscular sock, has to give a good, strong squeeze to push the urine out. But simultaneously, the muscles at the outlet have to completely relax and open up the exit. If that timing is even a little bit off, you're gonna have some urine left behind. And there's a medical term for that leftover urine. It's called post-void residual. Sounds complicated, but it's not. Post-void just means after peeing, and residual means what's left over. It's simply the amount of urine still in your bladder after you think you're totally empty. All right, so why does this system fail? Why is there stuff left over? Well, it almost always comes down to one of two main culprits. The easiest way to think about this is a blockage problem versus a power problem. With a blockage, it's like a kink in a hose. Something is physically in the way, blocking the flow. With a power problem, the hose is clear, but there isn't enough force, enough of a squeeze from the bladder muscle to push everything out. So first up, let's talk about blockages. For guys, the #1 cause by a long shot is an enlarged prostate, or BPH. The prostate wraps around the urethra, so as it gets bigger, it can literally pinch that tube closed. But you can also get blockages from things like scar tissue, urinary stones, or even really bad constipation. If you're backed up, it can physically press on your bladder and block the exit. Okay, so that's the blockage. What about the power problem? Well, a bunch of things can weaken the bladder muscle. And here's the crazy thing. Having a blockage for a long time can eventually wear out the muscle because it's working so hard. But other things like diabetes, nerve issues, a spinal cord injury, or even just getting older can make that muscle less powerful. Oh, and here's something you really need to know. Some super common over-the-counter meds can actually cause or worsen this problem. You know, things like antihistamines for allergies or decongestants for a cold, they can interfere with that bladder squeeze. So if you notice things getting worse when you're sick, that might be why. All right, so a little bit of leftover urine. What's the big deal, right? Well, actually, it can be a pretty big deal. It's really important to understand the risks here if you don't get a handle on it. Think about it. That leftover urine is just sitting there, not going anywhere. It becomes stagnant, which is the perfect breeding ground for bacteria. This massively increases your risk for urinary tract infections or UTIs. And for men, getting UTIs over and over is a huge red flag for an emptying problem. If things get really bad, the bladder can get so full that it just overflows, causing urine to leak out. Okay, but it's not all doom and gloom. The good news is there are a bunch of practical, simple things you can start doing right now to help your bladder empty more completely. So let's open up your new toolkit. First up, tool #1 is a technique called the double void. And trust me, it's super simple but can be a real game changer. You can literally start doing this on your next trip to the bathroom. So here's what you do. Go to the bathroom and pee just like you always do. But instead of hopping right up when you're done, just stay there. Relax, wait about 20 or 30 seconds, and then try to go again. You will probably be shocked at how much more comes out. All right, next technique, and this one might actually surprise you. It's all about your posture on the toilet. Yeah, seriously, how you sit can make a massive difference. So here's the ideal setup. Sit down, don't hover. Get your feet flat on the floor. Then lean forward a bit and rest your elbows on your thighs. This position naturally relaxes your pelvic floor muscles. And here's a little pro tip. Using a small footstool to get your knees a little higher than your hips, that can make a world of difference. You know, it's not just about the how, it's also about the what. what you're eating and drinking can play a huge role. Things like caffeine, alcohol, spicy foods, even fizzy drinks can be major bladder irritants for some people. A great tip is to keep a little diary for a week or so. Track what you consume and how you feel. You might be surprised what you find. And hey, remember we talked about constipation being a literal blockage? Well, fighting that is crucial. The magic number for a lot of men is about 38 grams of fiber every single day. So focusing on getting more fiber from your food is a really powerful move for your bladder health. Okay, let's fire off a few more quick lifestyle tips that can really help. While you're on the toilet, try some slow, deep belly breaths to relax your pelvic floor. Try not to hold it for too long. Going every 3 to 4 hours is a good goal. And listen, don't cut back on water thinking it'll help. That can actually make urine more concentrated and irritating. You're aiming for a light yellow color. And finally, some gentle stretches can help release tension in that whole area. Now, all these tips are fantastic, but it's really important to know when it's time to stop self-managing and call a professional. There are some definite red flags you should not ignore. So, listen up. If you have pain when you pee, if you ever see blood in your urine, if you're getting those infections over and over again, or if it's a real struggle just to get the stream started, you need to make an appointment. And I cannot stress this enough. If you find you literally cannot pee at all, that is a medical emergency. You need to get help right away. Look, at the end of the day, taking care of this stuff isn't just about getting rid of an annoying feeling. When you really pay attention to your bladder health, it can make a huge difference in your day-to-day comfort, how well you sleep at night, and just your overall quality of life. So, I want to leave you with this question. After everything we've talked about today, what's just one small thing, one tiny change you can make starting right now for your bladder health?